All right, we'll just send the word live when it's live, please. Send. Afternoon, beautiful people, and welcome to another edition of the MisippBROs. We are coming to you live on a Thursday afternoon. July 22nd is the date. Anybody that knows me knows that's a great number. And just want to say thank you for joining a solo sip bro. We'll see if we can maybe get some Chooch audio here if he pines in, or even video. But we'll have to see if we can coordinate that, because we had a game plan. But as always, we can adjust as Chooch takes his lovely lady back to the smiling country of Chile. Mariela, if you're listening, we hope you have a safe flight. And hello.
How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for calling into the MisippBROs. Is this our first ever call-in participant not named Chad?
No, it's my first time. I think it's my first time I see you.
Well, thank you for joining us. And definitely hope you guys get there safe. So I'm going to move on with the show and let me know what we can... I want to hear when you get there safe, Mariela.
You're the man, dude. You keep rocking, MisippBRO, dude.
All right.
You got the gauntlet, my man. You got the guide on, as we like to say, man. And we're just cruising through Oregon, man. And so we are with you, dude. We will not be interrupting you too much, man. But just want to say, man, that I'm proud of you, man. Get after it, my friend.
Thank you, Chooch, for the encouragement. You know I always need it. Or I could always use it. Big bro, always there to support. So we got the chat going. Here we go. I'm spinning a few turntables over here. What's the word? Multitasking is the word. Chooch threw me off my game. As always, the unpredictable Chad Robert Misippo. Mark Edward Misippo bringing it to you. Let's get back on track, folks. We have a lot to talk about as usual. Appreciate you for joining us. Any fans of the MisippBROs out there listening, you're been encouraged. Feel free to chime in whenever, and that includes you, producer Bruce. So, sometimes you wake up the morning after a night out with friends, and you do a little karaoke. Sometimes you do more karaoke than you planned on. And sorry if my voice is showing it. Sorry if my face is wearing it. You had to be there in the moment to see me do my best King Without a Crown by Mattis Yahoo. Any Mattis Yahoo fans out there, let me know. And then later on, Outkast's Hey Ya. Let me tell you, that song, a staple of any 2004, 2005 high school dance. Crazy to think it's been 15 years since high school for many of us. For me personally, crazy to think that song's almost 20 years old. But Outkast, timeless. My performance at karaoke, not as much. Now, let me put it in the terms of this. Is karaoke a sport? Well, if I was going by Chooch's definition of a sport, yes, because the ball does move over the little words. So, karaoke a sport?
No. Hell no.
In Chooch's definition, yes. But let's call it a talent show, an escapade. And if you know anything about me, I can do a lot of things. Singing's not one of them. More here for the entertainment value. Mikey B, what up? Yes, Clayton Club, sir. The Wild Wild West, the old saloon, the oldest operating saloon west of the Mississippi is what they claim. Anyone who's been there might agree. But anyway, moving on. Friends, we have new NBA champions. Champions that haven't been crowned in the city of Milwaukee in about 50 years. I want to say 1971 was the year. And we're going to do a lot of Giannis appreciation here. I'm going to throw up a little screen share that shows quite the transformation for young Giannis. Let me get the screen share going here as I wax poetic on what has quickly become the new face of the NBA. Let me know when we got that screen share up there, Bruce. Basically, Giannis Sina Ugo Antetokounmpo. For those of us that don't know, that's Antetokounmpo. Antetokounmpo, 13 letters long. Look at this transformation. Picked 15th overall in the 2013 draft. I'm just going to spoil that. I think 14 picks ahead of him. Teams probably regret not taking a chance on the young teenager you see pictured on the left. 196 pounds at age 18. Lots of potential. He tapped into it. He's got the work ethic. He's got the body. My goodness. 50 pounds of what appears to be pure muscle. Giannis has elevated into the most dominant inside force, heck, all over the court, in my opinion, that we've seen since Shaquille O'Neal. Yes, Shaquille O'Neal. It doesn't matter how much time he takes at the free throw line. It doesn't matter if you're shooting 50% from the free throw line, because let me rattle off a couple Giannis stats that put him in extremely elite company. First off, Giannis became the first player in NBA Finals history to register a game with 40 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 blocks. Even better than that, he broke through to the next club and scored 50 points while scoring 10 or more rebounds and 5 blocks. The number 50 is important here, folks. In a finals game, when you're the guy that needs to be stopped for the Suns to survive, the guy dropped 33 points in the first half. He averaged 30 points throughout the finals, 10 rebounds and 5 blocks with 60% shooting. That puts him in a club all by himself. He took home the finals MVP, and a year after he won the league MVP. Adding to that, his Defensive Player of the Year award puts him in a category with only Hakeem Olajuwon and Michael Jordan. Maybe you've heard of him. Let me know if you have. So, at age 26, Giannis's current age, he has added 2 MVPs to his register, 5 All-Stars appearances, 5 All-NBA selections, 3 All-Defensive selections, and of course, the 1 Defensive Player of the Year. The fact that he's won back-to-back regular season MVPs by age 26, he joins a club that only hosts Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and LeBron James. Lots of Giannis love. If you watch the series, you saw it with your own eyes. Crazy to think 3 weeks ago the guy had hyperextended his knee to a level that I call ostriching. It's not a good thing for a human anatomy to do. You never want to ostrich. It looked like a devastating injury, and it could have certainly changed the course of history. Thank goodness it didn't, because the show that we watched, the spectacle that he put on, just defied what most are capable of. Number 1, in rebounding from the injury, he only missed 2 games with that hyperextension. Number 2, the Bucks went down 0-2 early. Well, of course, first 2 games, they were down 0-2. Your boy had it all wrong. I was too under the Suns and 4 movement. Really wanted to see it at one point, but I'm actually pretty happy with the show that we got to see. Sorry, Phoenix Suns fans. Sorry, Desert Rob. Sorry, Desert Todd. Truly, the Valley will rise again, in my opinion, but he was the insurmountable force. And thank you, Shay. Yes, Giannis did celebrate his 50-point performance with 50 Chick-fil-A nuggets. I'm sure his body could handle every one of them. A lot of energy required to run that machine. And he didn't just go to Chick-fil-A once for a 50 nugget order. He went twice. And if I was Giannis, I'd go again today. And the next day. Enjoy parading around with the trophy. Enjoy all of your accomplishments, Giannis. We can't get enough of it lately. And you could argue, Giannis, quite possibly, especially internationally, most definitely in Greece, has become the newest face of the NBA. Let's see if Steph Curry has anything to say about that next year. But I got to keep up with the Giannis appreciation here. I'm going to shift the screen on the left here. This tweet dated 2014, July 16th, 2014, 7 years ago. It's a pledge of loyalty to the city of Milwaukee. It's a pledge that he held up on. It's a pledge he delivered. Let's not forget, it was just a year ago. Giannis had yet to ink his max extension with Milwaukee. Every team in the NBA was courting him, and no exaggeration, every single team. Warriors fans were dreaming of a world where Giannis would just streak down the floor, dominate the inside, kind of like Kevin Durant used to, but even more forceful, maybe kick it out to an open Steph Curry, open Klay Thompson. I'm not kidding you. Who wouldn't want this guy? He had the world in his hands. He could have gone anywhere. He could have gone to Miami to link up with Jimmy Butler. He could have gone to Los Angeles to link up with LeBron and the gang. He could have done the super team thing that we've seen become the trend in basketball. Instead, what you're looking at is a man who cemented his legacy by 26. A man that will be an icon in the city of Milwaukee forever. Give that man the key to the city sooner than later. He promises to continue to represent Milwaukee well. And Giannis Antetokounmpo, one of 3 Antetokounmpo brothers. Yes, KB, White Rice. Thank you for chiming in. The Antetokounmpo brothers, Giannis, Thanasis, teammate on the Bucks, and Kostas of the Los Angeles Lakers. Yes, all 3 brothers, NBA champions. If I had a fat ring to show you, I would, but they do. They became the first set of 3 brothers in the NBA to win championships. They did it in back-to-back years. So wherever Mama Antetokounmpo is, wherever Papa Antetokounmpo is, maybe they're listening. Congrats. You should be proud. Maybe kick back and revel in all that you've done, So cheers to the Antetokounmpo family and NBA legacy, not soon forgotten. Again, he's 26, Giannis. What can he do in the next 10 years? Here's to him staying healthy and putting together one of the most amazing careers we've ever seen. He said himself, it doesn't really matter if they get another championship or not. He said, we did it. We fucking did it the hard way. Kind of a shot at the Kevin Durant's of the world. Kind of a shot at the LeBron Jameses of the world. I loved every bit of it. Again, apologies, Phoenix Suns fans. Apologies. Now, a little trivia for our listeners out there. While they are the 3 brothers in the NBA, the first to all have NBA championship gold draped on them, can anyone name 3 brothers in any other sport, any professional sport, that can say the same? I'll give you a couple minutes to chime in. I have a feeling my Viking friend might have a good feel on this. So, NBA history, poor Chris Paul, up 2-0 for the 4th time in his career, only to lose a 7-game series, whether it be 4-2 or 4-3. The guy, while a storied career of his own, might end up the way of Charles Barkley. Lots of all-star appearances, lots of playoff experience, no championships. I know a lot of Warriors fans get a little peeved with Chris Paul. There's been times I didn't love him myself. I do respect his body of work. But he goes home once again after being up in a major series. Western Conference Finals against the Warriors, NBA Finals this year, up 2-0, and, well, I do believe Devin Booker and gang will be back. I don't know where Chris Paul will end up. My suspicions say he'll probably ring chase. Los Angeles Lakers have been rumored. I could see him joining up with a team like Brooklyn, if he needs to back anybody up. But again, hats off to Giannis for really bucking the trend of these super teams and the player movement we've seen, staying in a small market like Milwaukee. And I don't know if you guys saw the parade that was going on. It's actually going on today, right now. It's quite an impressive amount. I didn't know there was this many people in Milwaukee. Cheers to you, Milwaukee. And KB, good guess. Matthews brothers in the NFL. I would challenge you to let me know what the 3rd Matthews brother is. I think, or who it is. I think we're more talking the fathers and the uncles that birthed Clay Matthews, that is. Matthews families are definitely royalty, and Bruce Matthews as well, former Titan. They're definitely NFL royalty, but I don't believe they're all glittered in gold, and I don't believe they're all brothers. Our favorite Viking fan, Mr. Shea, ding, ding, ding. The Molina brothers, baseball, Jose, Benji, Yadier. Yadier, of which probably the most accomplished, well, heck, I'll say it, the most accomplished, multiple all-star appearances, dozens of gold gloves. He has won actually 2 World Series titles with the Cardinals in 2006 and 2011. But yes, the Molina brothers, the only trio of brothers I know in major professional sports that can say the same as the Antetokounmpo brothers. And again, that's Antetokounmpo. Can I spell it without looking at my notes? No, but neither can you. So, Giannis and the Bucks, they really did that. They really did that, and I was one of the people who didn't see it coming. So, get them next year, Suns. Get after it next year, Bucks. We'll see if you can do a back-to-back. As we know, the NBA is always going to be filled with player movement and adjustments. We'll see who goes where to combat Giannis and the Bucks. But great to see a core like Giannis and Chris Middleton, drafted in back-to-back years, come through, deliver for the city of Milwaukee. Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers probably the last one to deliver for that area of the world. And, who stays in Milwaukee? Ryan Braun? Where is Ryan Braun these days? All I know is he played at least 10 years for the Brewers, cheating his way to an MVP as well. That should have been Matt Kemp's MVP, especially when he showed up a little dirty, Ryan. Anyway, just a little sip tangent there. So, NBA basketball, thank you for a thrilling season. We look forward to a thrilling offseason and the draft upcoming soon. We'll have to save that sort of talk when Chooch can get back on air with us. I couldn't go this show without talking about the big news that broke Tuesday, July 20th. Oakland Roots. This is a soccer team, professional soccer team in Oakland, but it speaks to the whole Rooted in Oakland movement. It's not we're not strangers to the fact that Sip loves his Oakland A's, his Oakland sports. But let me just say, even though Chooch didn't see this coming, the 6-1 city council vote on Tuesday afternoon, it secured at least further negotiations between the Oakland Athletics and the city of Oakland. It's moved the needle that they're calling it now, I'm oversimplifying things, they're calling it now the bottom of the eighth. The Oakland Athletics and the city of Oakland are now in the bottom of the eighth. City council, approving their own term sheet, has now pushed the ball back into the Athletics court, which we'll see if they play ball. We'll see if they take their ball and go home. This does not guarantee that the A's will stay in Oakland, of course, because they could go the way of the Raiders, or they take whatever free handouts they could get, a la Las Vegas. But the ball is firmly in the Oakland Athletics court. If they move the needle in good faith, if they continue to negotiate, we'll call it the ninth inning. But until we see that domino fall, we just can't be for sure. My torn and battered Oakland heart couldn't stand to see a third team in 5 years leave the city. It would mark not only an embarrassment, not only an unprecedented, it's something that will never be matched again by any major city. Because let me tell you, the cities that do have, and yes, Oakland's a major city for anyone who wants to hate, the major cities that do host 3+ professional professional teams, the New Yorks, the Bostons, the Philadelphias, the Miamis, the Los Angeleses, the San Franciscos, sort of. Well, let me just say, spoiler alert, the Red Sox ain't going anywhere. The Yankees ain't leaving New York. The Jets aren't leaving New York. The Dolphins aren't going anywhere. So, as we continue to hold our breath, not literally, because if I was doing that, I'd be long gone. Let me tell you, Major League Baseball assigned a blue ribbon committee to Chooch, if you want to silence your microphone, that'd be great. I'm getting a lot of feedback. Apologies. Since 2006, MLB assigned a special committee to study the stadium situation in Oakland. 15 years later, here we are. Almost literally half my life. Whether it was the proposed Cisco Field in Fremont, whether it was the fight over the territory in San Jose with the Giants, whether it was the proposed Coliseum City, where they were going to use the current location to build up high-rise hotels, offices, restaurants. Yes, there was a proposal. Google it if you'd like. Coliseum City never came to fruition. Cisco Field never came to fruition. San Jose never happened. Giants wouldn't allow it. 15 years of my life. That's why I haven't been holding my breath. As Chooch himself would say, until there's shovels in the ground, nothing's really going to be nothing to get excited about, nothing to write home about. So here's to hoping the Oakland Athletics stay in Oakland. I truly believe a waterfront ballpark at that Jack London Square site would transform Oakland into a destination city, an entertainment hub that people would actually be curious to check out, a world-class ballpark on the water. Those of us in the Bay Area know what AT&T, Pac-Bell, 3Com, whatever it's called now, Oracle Park in San Francisco there. Formerly, I want to say it was might have been part of the Mission District. But those that know, 20 years ago, 25 years ago, there was no reason to be in San Francisco in that portion of the city. it was pretty dilapidated, completely industrial, and just not a safe place to be. But fast forward 20 years, a lot of success for the Giants later, a lot of moments, a beautiful stadium, an all-star game hosted. It revived that part of the city. San Francisco's long been a world-class city with worth a vacation. But let me just say, completely revitalized that part of the city. And it's a beautiful walk along the Embarcadero now. It's always buzzing in that area of the city. Chad could tell you himself, he used to live a couple blocks from the park. So I see something potentially similar for the Oakland Athletics if they can get it in gear and make Oakland a place to come and stay, check it out. After years and years of going to the Coliseum for A's games, Warriors games, Raiders games, we all know there's no reason to stick around that part of the world after a game's over. Great tailgates, not a lot of entertainment around there. And let me know the last time someone said, hey, I'm taking a vacation to California. I'm going to Oakland. Not exactly. So here's to hoping this project, should it go through, all $12 billion of it, can truly transform the city of Oakland and, provide that modern ballpark experience that is so needed, where you have happy hour on the street, you do a little bit of shopping, you see some scenic views, and you go to the game. Again, here's to hoping things continue to stay rooted in Oakland and the A's won't be trying to make billionaires just billions of dollars. Hopefully they can really provide something for the community here, because without the A's, I shudder to think any reason to come to Oakland, any reason to stick around. And no, baseball does not belong in Las Vegas. 110 degrees in a dome. That's not going to move the needle for me as an A's fan. And that's probably the one thing that could make me toss this lid to the side in disgust, punt them to the desert, just like I did the Oakland Raiders, now the Las Vegas Raiders. Let's just say the A's would be the third most popular team in that market as well. So here's to hoping, fans, we can stick in Oakland. Speaking of baseball news, and we'll continue to monitor the stadium situation as they fight over millions and millions and billions and billions. But let me just say, we talked about it earlier in the show, earlier this year. Yermin Mercedes, formerly the April breakout, the 28-year-old rookie catcher, former catcher of the Chicago White Sox. He made headlines by batting .427 over his first 21 games. He was the first player to bat such a high number. He sprinkled 7 home runs across that, and it was all in the month of April. He looked like the next breakout star, potentially on his way to an all-star game. Those that are familiar might remember when he took a Willians Astudillo pitch. Willians Astudillo, for those that don't know, is a position player, a catcher and a third baseman himself on the Minnesota Twins. Yermin Mercedes made headlines by taking a pitch from the position player. Why is there a position player on the mound? Well, it was a 16-1 ball game. Yermin Mercedes obliged, said thank you for the batting practice fastball right down the middle, and he hit it about 410 feet to center field. I still think it's impressive that he did that. If those fans might remember, our fans might remember, it was a hot point in MLB, a talking point, because did it break any unwritten rules? Did he disgrace his opponents to the level that he should be punished by his manager? Well, in Tony La Russa's opinion, yes. The Chicago White Sox manager, who Chad would defend, he's doing a great job. The team is on top of the division, but I was always against his treatment of Yermin Mercedes. He punished his young catcher with a benching, a bit of a scolding, and let's just put it like this, the guy was never the same. He batted .161 over the next 2 months of the season. He broke him. Whatever swagger he had, whatever confidence he had, didn't matter anymore. They sent him all the way down to the minors. Never would have predicted that for a guy who batted .427 with 7 homers in the month of April, typically a month that's the hardest to hit, whether it's the cold weather or adapting to the pitchers. He suddenly announced, Yermin Mercedes, on his Instagram handle, he was retired. He's done. I certainly hope this isn't the end for Yermin Mercedes. Hopefully the White Sox maybe give him a chance to find success with another manager. They're one of the most talented, young, exciting, full of Latin player teams in baseball. I've long said Tony La Russa is not the manager for this team. I've long said it, and I'll continue to say it. It just doesn't match. He's a crudgy, curmudgeonly, old-school manager. And, well, I don't think it jives. clearly Yermin Mercedes doesn't think it jives as well. So here's the hope, and Yermin can dust it off with another team, find some of that original magic that made him an early season sensation. But until that happens, Tony La Russa, this one's on you, buddy. This one is on you. And thank you, Bruce. Hopefully there's no karaoke songs being posted today. Karaoke videos. I've long been more of an entertainer than a singer, so just plug your ears if that makes it on the air here, folks. Let's not. Let's not. But yeah, what else do we got? Fans, chime in. Anything you want to hear me discuss, you know I'm down. Just want to say, while I'm here holding the solo session down, some of you out there might have seen the movie Space Jam, A New Legacy. LeBron James back at it again, riding Michael Jordan's coattails, trying to be the greatest. Be well, thank you. Keep it to yourself, would you? BMW 051410. Appreciate it. I'll try to incentivize you to not share that, but thank you all the same. Space Jam, A New Legacy. The Looney Tunes are back. Lola Bunny's back. Remember her? I'm trying to remember in my younger mind. Was she ever featured in the actual Looney Tunes cartoons? Was she part of the Tiny Toons? Was Lola Bunny an original for the Space Jam movie? Whatever happened to Babs Bunny? But anyway, 1995, those might remember. Lola Bunny had a little bit more curviness. This isn't important with regard to the film, just something I noticed. We continue to dumb things down in society. We continue to make things less than G rated. I have yet to dive into the movie myself to see the whole supporting cast of the Looney Tunes. The early returns, though, are this is not the strongest remake of a film, kind of following a classic trend that I see in media these days. Not a lot of original ideas in terms of movies, in terms of films. I mean, how many Chucky movies have they made? How many Saw films have they made? Final Destination, Fast and the Furious, 9 of them? I don't know. But it's part of a trend of, let's take a classic and let's remake it, but 20 years later. You know, Anchorman to Anchorman 2, Dumb and Dumber to Dumb and Dumber 2. They really shouldn't have brought the gang back for that one. Let me just say, I love Jim Carrey. Jeff Daniels moved on to other type of acting. Those guys didn't look the same when they were brought back in HD at age 50 plus. Just a part of a trend of what I believe is kind of cash grabbing. Let's take a movie that was a hit 20 years ago and let's try to do our best with it. So I know the Space Jam's made for kids. That's why I loved it so much in 1995. But without a signature song, is it Space Jam? Come on, ride the jam and ride it. Ooh, ooh. That's your singing for today, folks. That's why I keep it to myself. So, not slated to make a ton of money. It actually might be a big money loss overall. I don't know what it costs, but I saw the early returns don't look encouraging. And whether it's part of today's COVID world of home entertainment versus movie theater entertainment, whether China is boycotting the film for whatever reason, hello China. It's not the success of the Michael Jordan film of the past, from everything I can tell. But you know me, I'll do my research. We'll be back to talk Space Jam, A New Legacy, once I see the film myself. Friends, I don't know if we've reached the open forum portion of the show. Loving the feedback we've got so far. Also wanted to point out, LeBron James, I guess while I'm still on the topic, he just surpassed the $1 billion career earnings mark, so don't feel bad for LeBron. The movie could tank. He could pay for it himself. LeBron will be okay, whether it's his Nike endorsement deals or his mega extensions with the Lakers, the Cavaliers, the Heat over the years. But LeBron James, first to pass the $1 billion career earnings mark in the NBA. Second behind him, Kevin Durant. I want to say about $580 million is the number I saw. That's a shitload of money. So don't feel bad for these guys. As good as the film might be, as bad as it might be, LeBron will be just fine. So also in the news, this just came in about an hour before the show. I have some details on this. I'll get it in the ballpark. The NFL, always wanting to be the titan that it is, always wanting to dictate the show, always wanting to save their precious 17-game schedule now. That's right. Fantasy football players, fans, get ready for 17-game seasons. In the event, the NFL announced, in the event COVID-19 outbreaks affect a team being able to take the field. I don't know what that would mean exactly. Maybe 10 players are affected, whatever it is. If the players are found to be unvaccinated in any sort of amounts, again, lacking all the details on this, not only will the team forfeit the game, wins and losses, but the players involved will forfeit their game checks. So this is the NFL taking a huge step, one we haven't seen from any other sports entities in America. A huge step to say, get vaccinated, players, people. I'm all for the health of the community. I'm all for getting over this pandemic, pandy. Tired of it. But the NFL taking a major step in what could prove to be a cumbersome topic and what could prove to be highly debatable. I'm not going to get into it by myself. I just wanted to break the news that, yes, the NFL pushing for all players to be vaccinated, or punishments could loom in the forms of forfeitures of paydays and wins and losses. Yes, Cole Beasley, shout out Cole Beasley. Mark Cuban, interesting exchange between those two over the last week. Cole Beasley, wide receiver on the Buffalo Bills, number 11 in your programs. I don't know what number he is in your hearts. Sorry about that. Anyways, he has come out and said how he was an anti-vaxxer, or he was a little bit leery of the vaccine, and made some very public comments that went somewhat viral. And Mark Cuban got a hold of those. And he basically said, hey, Cole, I'll buy you and your wife stock in Pfizer. I'll buy you a share, whatever little amount it might be, so you can profit just like Pfizer is. Someone is off the vaccine. But yeah, Cole Beasley, face of what's now developing in the NFL. But quite the news break, I'm telling you. Read it up on yourself. Read it up for yourself, excuse me. I apologize, I don't have all the details. But yes, NFL taking a major, major step in asking their players and team members to get the prick, if you will. So here's to hoping you're all healthy out there. Here's to hoping you stay in good health. And as always, thank you for tuning in. Whether you like the solo Sippo sessions, whether you miss Brother Chad, Big Bro, it's always better when we have strength in numbers, right? I'll rely on an old Warriors slogan here. We believe strength in numbers is good for the MisippBROs. Appreciate you having me here today. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at MisippBROs, MisippBROs. And, well, my coffee's gone a bit cold. Anyone out there care to guess what's in the coffee? Is there any sugar? Is there soy milk? Is there almond milk? Is there tequila? Nothing's impossible, especially when you run your own show. So I just want to say thanks for having fun with me today, friends. Big Bruce threw in a topic we could touch on lightly here. As NCAA athletes continue to break through in the form of earning their own income, using their likeness, their imagery, maybe even their jerseys. NCAA athletes, while always considered amateurs, can now incentivize themselves. They can sign an autograph and take a $50 payment for it. In the case of young Alabama quarterback, I want to say his name is Bryce Young. Anyone can correct me if you'd like. No, there's no White Claw in the coffee. that'd be quite the flavor arrangement. But Bryce Young, young quarterback on Alabama. He's, I believe, a freshman or a redshirt freshman. What I do know is he has yet to play a game. What I also know is he's a highly, highly touted prospect. Nick Saban obviously thinks the world of him and expects the world of him, as he reported that the young quarterback is already up well over six figures in terms of money he's been gathering, money that he's received through endorsements. Apparently, he's one of the next big things. If we got college kids age 19 making six figures already, how many of you former college athletes, and we got a few listening in today, how many of you wish you could make even a couple bucks off your name? Back in the days of Reggie Bush, back in the days of Tim Tebow and all those mega popular stars from college football ranks, they couldn't make a dime off of their jerseys. They were kicked off the team if they received payments, stipends, autograph money, or in Reggie Bush's case, had to surrender your Heisman Trophy. So it's a trend we're going to continue to monitor. Will Bryce Young make $1 million before he makes it to the NFL? Gosh, I hope I have his name right. I think I do. But all part of this new world we're moving into. It's good that the NCAA doesn't get the full piece of the pie, but I always loved college sports, especially college football, for the fact it was always about the glory, the wins and losses. If a young quarterback, age 19, 20 years old, is already worth $1 million, will he lay it all on the line for his team? Will he sit out the Senior Bowls? Probably. Will he sit out playoff games? Maybe. We're about to find out. So keep that in mind. NCAA athletes, now incentivized. Will the spirit of college football be the same? Tune in and continue the chat as we monitor the new age of amateur athletes in NCAA. I'm going to kick it out to the listeners one last time. I think I've done all I can for today's show. Definitely wanted to touch on the Bucks, NBA champions. Had to mention the NFL vaccines. I do believe that's a big, big step. And yes, the Oakland A's waterfront ballpark. Will it come to fruition? Lord, I hope so. It would be everything to me as a fan, not only of the Athletics, but of the city of Oakland, a city I've, by proxy, called home for a long time. And Lord knows I've been to over 100 games at the Coliseum. Hated to see the Warriors leave, even though they're right across the bay. I am grateful I can watch them over on local television to this day, especially with guys like Steph Curry and Klay Thompson in our backyard. Hey, on that note, this is a reminder to Warriors fans. You saw the transformation of Giannis from age 18 to 26, the 50 pounds of muscle he added on, becoming a dominant force in the NBA that we'll remember for a long time to come, and sure has a lot still in front of him. But a reminder to Warriors fans, give James Wiseman some time. Let him hit the weight room a bit. I'm not promising anything close to the level of Giannis. I keep looking this way because he's looking back at me on my other screen. But fans, Warriors fans, give the kid some time to grow. And I mean literally, physically, mentally, all of it. Hang on, Warriors fans. Don't trade the young kid just yet. So, as we proceed to give you what you need, certainly I hope so. I just want to say thank you, friends. It's been a great Thursday. Look forward to having Chad back in studio on Monday. Big bro, holla at me. Get that girl to the airport. And we'll be catching up soon here on MisippBROs. The hour. Giannis. He left a great quote during his most recent press conference. When you focus on your past, that's your ego. When you focus on your future, that's your pride. When you focus on the present, that's humility. I like it. Stay humble, people. We'll catch you next time on MisippBROs. See you Monday.